There are those that just want to be left alone, and those that just won't leave them alone. Which one are you? The Ernest Hancock Show.
From Philadelphia, we expect a declaration of independence.
Our rights are being threatened by a tyrant 3,000 miles away.
Would you tell me, please, Mr. Howard, why should I trade one tyrant 3,000 miles away for 3,000 tyrants 1 mile away? An elected legislature can trample a man's rights as easily as a king can. Mark my words. This war will be fought not on the frontier or on some distant battlefield, but amongst us, among our homes. Our children will learn of it with their own eyes. And the innocent will die with the rest of us.
Yep. The innocent will die with the rest of us. So we need to keep this thing peaceful. Because I know once this starts, it starts getting ugly. Americans got this, leave me alone streak going in it. We want to have this leave me alone zone thing coming on. Oh, I was thinking, I was talking to Karen Kwiatkowski a few days ago, and I thought, man, I just want to leave me alone zone. So I went and got leavemealonezone.com.org. I'm going to make use of that. So one thing I want to, is it possible to have the leave me alone zone and it be, because I unincorporated the city, I don't have a police force anymore. We deal with a sheriff when we, call them out when we need them. They have a little office there or something like that, and I just don't have all of this tyranny sponsored by tax money going to the city that's beating me over the head with a badge. So I'm going, is that an option, Stewart?
Yeah, I think it is. Certainly. I mean, they used to live like that in Quartzsite. No reason why they couldn't do it again, because as we all know, we are our own security anyway. There's no friggin' way the police chief, whether he's an angel or a devil, is going to be there to save you when you need him. You're going to be on your own regardless.
That's kind of been what has been on display here, is that with all the revelations that keep coming out more and more in the history of these people and what they've done in the past and what they've been doing and are doing, and you go, wow, and I created the city government for this? I mean, I thought the whole points of government was to defend my rights, and they're the ones taking them away.
Yeah, that's why my plan is always make sure I live under as few jurisdictions as possible. So you don't want to live in a town and inside of a county. It's better to live outside the town, away from the jurisdiction of those petty tyrants.
Which they always wind up being. It's just usually they cloak it a little bit better, but when they're small like this, it's a lot easier to see, and that's why it's so much on display, and we're giving it attention. Now, I wanted to, there's going to be a lot of people out there giving a lot of a wide, varied perspective, and I doubt there's probably going to be anybody else up there that I might get. I'm going, hey, you guys just go down there and unincorporate. I mean, FYI, I just, in case it gets that bad. And then there are people know. Then you got legislators, and then of course, Barry Hess, a well-known libertarian statewide here. He's going to be one of the speakers too. I mean, he's always entertaining. Jordan Page, I mean, it's going to be a good show. Now, but the one thing I wanted to talk about before we ended the show is that you and I both are in this mindset of we just need to really be self-reliant. And in Quartzsite used to be. I mean, heck, that's why people went out there. They're out in the middle of the nothing. They'll be threatening them with whatever, water or something. I can feel this water thing coming. They always threaten you with water in the desert. You go, okay, well, I'll just drill a well. Nope, not allowed. Now you got water problems. You need us. That's how it always works. So I'm this self-sustaining kind of leave me alone mentality. How are you leaning that way?
I think it's essential. I mean, we're headed for an economic collapse, and what's going to make a difference is to what happens after that in history is how self-reliant we are. If we're not prepared for it, if you're going to wind up being like the city dwellers during Katrina, sitting around waiting for someone else to save you, then you're going to wind up in a tyranny. And so we have to get squared away ahead of time. That's why we're really kind of turning our focus to preparedness among the veterans, trying to wake them up with our Operation Sleeping Giant. The whole goal is to get them woken up and take personal responsibility for strengthening their communities and getting ready. Because if you're independent and self-reliant, you won't need FEMA. You won't have the pretext for them coming in and saying, we're from the government, we're here to help you. You can say, nope, don't need you. So that's why folks just can't be, like a lot of preppers tend to be, they want to be isolationists, they don't want to talk to anybody else, they just want to stay in their house and hide and don't tell anybody about their rice and beans. I think that's a mistake. You need to build strong communities.
Well, what are you doing in your own home for this? Are you just stocking up? Are you starting to grow? Are you learning skills? I mean, how are you preparing?
All of that. We've got chickens. So for the first time in our adult lives, my grandparents had chickens. Yeah, we got chickens, which that was a lot of fun. So and you know, we're growing plants and learning how to store food and doing it. So everyone should be doing that.
It's a skill that I don't think was passed on to our generation as much as our parents knew it. And I don't know how antiquated they thought. They didn't think it important enough to share it with us. And so it was more, well, that's what the government's for. Go to public school, man. They'll teach you how to. And I remember you put the little seed in the styrofoam cup, and that was about my gardening experience right there. So I'm going, okay, seriously, that's it? When my children were about in 7 to 10 age, around in there, we did a garden in the backyard. We moved into this new home and it had all kinds of plants, you know, raspberries and grapevines and pomegranate trees and all this kind of stuff. And we're going, wow, you know, this is good education, and it tasted good. So we started the little garden. It was only about 5 by 10. And we did this just to grow some tomatoes and cucumbers and different things and bell peppers and some stuff, just so our children knew what real food tastes like. We're going, look, this is the real food. This other stuff they got, this is like a poor excuse for this. So we would do that, and it really kind of caught on. And I felt like I was not providing myself with the right nutrition, or I was just really making myself a victim of the man by not growing something. And here in the last couple of years, we've gotten a lot more serious about it. And, you know, goats and chickens and all that kind of stuff, learning some skills. And how bad do you think it's going to get that we're going to need these skills?
Well, I think it's very likely to be as bad as Argentina or as bad as Germany, Austria, or Hungary in the 1920s when they went through their hyperinflation. There's a really good book out called When Money Dies. It's been around since 1975. But I just read that, and it's all about hyperinflation in Germany, and it's pretty frightening to read the parallels. So we're going down the same road. They're going to hyperinflate our dollar until it's worth nothing, and anybody who is not, you know, does not have access to food, who doesn't grow their own gardens, they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, just from a health standpoint, I mean, just to have something that, I mean, even if you only get 20% of your calories from your garden, you're probably getting about, you know, 89.6% of your nutrition. So I mean, it's important. That's right. I know it's another thing.
Most Americans eat junk anyway, right? Most of us eat crap. So
yeah, I'm trying to stop. I mean, I don't drink sodas anymore, and I just, you know, my daughter just gave me something to drink. She gives me some of this Powerade kind of stuff. I'm like, pooey, get that stuff away from me, man. Give me my juice. So there's a lot of things going on that I think. But one of the things I tell you could just see it coming is, you know, Buffett buying up Bank of America and all that kind of stuff, and a lot of things going on. What they're doing is the same thing they did during the savings and loan fiasco, the Resolution Trust Corporation, the RTC. They consolidated all of this real estate under government in one way or another. They bought it up, took it from the banks and so on, and they sold it in big, giant lots for gazillions of dollars to the banks at pennies on the dollar. If they would just sold it one property at a time, anybody could bid on it, they would have made recouped a lot more of their money. No, this is a wealth transfer. And when this first started, I said, you watch. They're going to have all of this consolidated and sell in big, giant chunks back to the banks while they're sitting there on the money that we gave them, and you indebted the next generation for them to do it. And here it comes. Well, they're doing it. Today we have on Freedom's Phoenix, here we go. So I'm just going, man, this is bad. So it's just guaranteed that we're going to go through exactly what you described. And I want to encourage people to get ready and cast off all of the remnants of this tyranny of them zoning you out. You can't have a garden here. I'm sorry, you didn't get a permit for that. I'm sorry, you're not allowed to do it. We want your land for this. We're eminent domaining that. It's just, I can see where this is going. And Quartzsite has been such a perfect example of this. And a lot of times, the city councilman there, they're right in the middle of this thing, and they're just doing what somebody else encouraged them or told them or paid them off to do, and they have no clue what they're in the middle of. Well, they do now. Anything else you want to say? Go ahead and give out your websites and so on. Everybody can go check out everything and donate and help you out there, Stewart.
OathKeepers.org and show up in Quartzsite. That's the biggest thing. Come out there this Saturday.
This Saturday. You know, you go to OathKeepers.org, and they have all the details there, who's going to be where and what, and it's going to be a party. Of course, you're going to have to, rub elbows with, the man there. They'll be, there because they can, but that's okay. They need to get indoctrinated into the truth, too. And
that's outreach.
Outreach to the man. Hey, thanks for coming on, Stuart. I look forward to seeing you, man.
You too. Take care, brother.
Bye. We'll be back tomorrow. Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.